Okay, what's going on, guys? It is iSlyCoop88, also known as Steve. And I know most of y'all are like, hey Steve, why are you streaming Diablo 3 right now? Well, for two reasons. I want to get another video out, and two, I was going to do Batman Arkham City. I think I still have it. But I don't feel ready to do Arkham City, if that makes any sense. And I was originally actually going to start Knack, because I thought, hey, I'm going to do something fun and energetic. And apparently when I went to boot up Knack, guys, I wasn't at the beginning, and if I was to do chapter select, I'd lose all the progress on New Game Plus that I'd already set for myself. So I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to play Batman Arkham City quite yet. I can't do Knack. Fallout 4 is in the closet of my room, because that's where I put all the still physical copies of games that I have. All the other games have too large a file save. I'm like, okay, so I got two choices here. I said I have three choices. I can do a Dragon Age Inquisition stream, Diablo 3, which is what I'm playing, or Mass Effect Andromeda. I went with Diablo 3 just because I have at least almost every single character, but I've started using some of my more favorites. This is actually the female version of the Necromancer from the Rise of the Necromancer DLC that recently came out for the game, which shocked me because I'm not a very big fan of the Diablo games. I haven't actually played the other two, so 3 is kind of my entry into the series.
I would like to hear more about your grandfather.
Not much to tell. We heard that my when the skeleton...
He made his choice then.
But what... Let me scroll through some of this real quick. Make sure I don't got gear that I'm not... Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm going through my gear and I'm going through all this stuff. But yeah, the Necromancer DLC recently came out. So I've been playing with that. Like, my favorite class before the Necromancer actually came out was the Witch Doctor. Because whenever I play RPGs, guys, I always love classes that have, like, you know, summoning or summoning pet kind of motifs. I always just find that fun.
You're the one who saved Cain. You must help us survive the Skeleton King, too. You're the one who saved Cain. You must...
Hang on. Oh, never mind. I got it already. But see, the thing... Oh, there we go. The Cemetery of the Fallen. I'm like, where am I going?
Leah spent all night alongside the blacksmith's wife.
Okay, so we're just going to the Weeping Hollow.
Hey, come
See, the thing is, I don't dislike Diablo 3, but like these kinds of RPGs kind of bore me after a while. I think it's just something about Diablo 3, it's good if you're doing multiplayer, but I think on your own it gets a bit awfully boring, if that makes any sense. I'm sure most of you who play Diablo 3 know what I'm talking about or referring to. Yeah, I thought, well, I want to do a second video at least today, but what am I going to do? You know, I don't feel like playing Batman Arkham City quite yet. I said I can't play Knack, so maybe I'll just do a random stream, and then I thought, well, I kind of wanted to build up my female Necromancer here in Diablo 3, so I thought, you know what, I'll play this for you guys. that and most of y'all who probably haven't got the Rise of the Necromancer DLC yet, we kind of get to see how like crazy this is. Like the Necromancer's become instantly almost my second favorite like character, because even though it takes a while to get the summoning stuff when you do, I mean you get from like a hulking like flesh golem, like mutant flesh golem, to like, you know, 9 little like, you know, skeletal knights and stuff. It's very interesting. Summon this. You can also summon using essence, which is, you know, the life force of the dead, essentially. So you temporarily summon necromantic mages to...
The blacksmith's apprentice has fallen. Another disruption in the balance.
I mean, I think the only reason that I like playing Diablo 3 in certain intervals is because I like RPGs and I like different facets of RPGs, but this, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Steve, you'd love Diablo because of, you know, the story and, oh, you know, the dark fantasy part of it. It's like, I don't dislike it. I find the story kind of fascinating, but there are times where I will admit it's a little too dark and macabre. Like, stuff like Dragon Age is more like my speed as far as, like, you know, fantasy, if that makes any sense. Like that or Mass Effect. Like, I don't mind games where it's like, you know, oh, you know, it's dark, it's gloomy, it's brooding. That's fine. But after a while, you kind of like, okay, is there anything more beyond this? And that's kind of what I feel with Diablo. I kind of feel like, you know, this game is still nothing but being dark, morbid, and macabre.
My insight grows.
And it kind of gets annoying, I won't lie, after a while. Yay, we got new abilities. What is this? I think I'll take my chances with this. Okay, now what? Oh. Yeah, so I figured, you know what, I'll just do a random Diablo 3 stream because I figure, hey, better than nothing, you guys get a little bit more content. And it gives me something to stream, too. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, I can't play this game right now, I can't play this game, and that always disturbs me a little bit, and I think that's the call for any Let's Player on YouTube or Twitch or stream or whatever. It's like, what am I going to play? What's my audience going to enjoy? That, and I've been on a kick to play this game a lot more often. Because I didn't really play it all that much on 360, and that's just because I don't got much to really play it on. I mean, what am I gonna, like, essentially, like, base all of this stuff on? Sorry, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like, trying to concentrate on killing these dudes and talking to you guys as well. You would think, well, Steve, you've Let's Played for a while. You should be used to this. I'm also kind of a little sluggish, guys. I didn't have any coffee this morning as well, so I'm kind of... It's one of those, like, I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'm fine. Now I'm just like, no, I need caffeine. Because I'm sounding like I'm nuts. I was up really super late last night, or earlier this morning. It was like, I think, 1:30, 2 o'clock by the time I went to bed. I like this bad habit when I sleep or I can't sleep, where I'll just sit there and try to meditate. Because I have a lot of anxiety and or anger issues. If you ever heard me talk about all that stuff on my main Sly Cooper 88 channel. And everybody's just like, you know, Steve, you're always talking about why you were bullied so much as a kid. Look, I'm one of those people that, because of the way that I was bullied, I tend to be very hypersensitive even when I don't mean to be. It's just naturally ingrained in me to be paranoid, on edge, and think everybody, even those close to me, are gonna try to somehow not screw me over. How do I describe this best without sounding like I'm being a jerk about it? I get into this weird mental mindset where I always feel I have to be on edge. I have to be, you know, this tough, brazen, like, guy. And it's very difficult to get out of, like, that mode when you've had to do it for so many years out of a sense of self-preservation. Most people that understand what I'm talking about will be able to get that. They'll get at least most of what I'm saying. I love the skeletal rage, but I wish that could be a permanent component, but I understand why they didn't do it like that, because people would just spam that to death. That's something with the Necromancer that's always new design-wise that I still can't kind of get over, is that you leave like all these mangled like corpses and entrails and everything all around here. But it makes the corpse explosion ability so much fun. For some reason now. I think it's just the way I'm standing. Okay. I sometimes like in some RPGs to do the entirety of the world map just to cover all my bases.
That foe will die.
Some of y'all are probably looking at this like, good grief, Steve. Yeah, I know, this game's very intense, and sometimes not always with the best of intentions.
Something happened to this grave. That would explain it.
Cold ground welcomes the foul bodies of these cruel men. They sought to prolong their lives through forbidden magic at great and cruel cost to others. Their evil fed on itself until it consumed them all, and they found themselves at the end of a hangman's rope.
We're almost to level 9 with the Necromancer, which means that I'll get to start using skeletal allies, which will make a lot of these fights easier. Well, I doubt Bob Ross could put happy little trees and make this place seem better. I don't know, like, I have no problem with Diablo, like I said, but just the games, after a while, they kind of get tedious and boring, and I think this is meant to be more of like a couch co-op kind of game. But even then, it's like, it reminds me in a very bad way of games like Gauntlet. And even Gauntlet didn't hold my attention for very long. I certainly don't hate Diablo, but I think the fact that the game's not progressing because I have a bad habit of playing all classes and whatnot in RPGs. So I think it's more I get bored because I try to do every single character, every gender variation, etc. But see, I like playing the Necromancer and the Witch Doctor because, yeah, you get like summon type characters. So it makes a little bit of sense to me to get the more fun characters out of the way and get the more boring characters like the Crusader, you know, done last. I have nothing against anybody who plays with the Crusader, by the way. I just don't like the class that much. And now we get the skeletal warriors. I'm not even doing anything, just look at how fast they are massacring these guys. And you get like a magical scythe ability, but see, I like the bone spikes, and I think I'm going to keep that for the female necromancer until I get this ability right here, which is the siphon blood. Yeah, see, command golem. You summon a flesh golem to fight for you. Spooky, isn't it? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. And this is my like I said, this is my female necromancer, which I've just started playing with just because I like the witch doctor and the necromancer, and I thought, hey, I'll just make like 2 extra characters to play as, maybe like use on random streams every once in a while. Kind of like now. But I also tried to diversify skills, like I think with her I'm going to use siphon blood or like bone spikes. Whereas my male necromancer maybe will use, of course, blood siphon as well, but more the grim scythe ability. Now both of them I probably will let have like, you know, these minions. But I think the male necromancer, I'm going to keep the flesh golem ability, and with her, I'm just going to go with like, you know, the 7 skeletal warriors here. Just because in my mind, I weirdly am like, you know, I want to diversify my characters because they all have the same abilities, but let me just make like, you know, their skill set a little bit different, so that way when I play, there's a very big obvious difference. Oh, and there's
an interesting opponent.
There's... Get around him. There we go. Hey, where are you running off to? Oh, I got a hood and a Pilfamy or whatever it's called, you know, a beating heart thing. That's just weird that it's like a beating demonic heart. Also, I love that the like head hood or like, you know, head cover doesn't even match the rest of her outfit. I love that. I think that that's hilarious. Anyway. Ugh, I almost kind of feel bad for half of these guys. Like, they're just... Yeah, when you start getting to this point, it's just a free-for-all. It's just, boom, everybody is done. I mean, when I get this ability, this is where I started kind of liking the Necromancer class, because it's a lot like the Witch Doctor when you get the summon zombie dogs ability.
For every action, a consequence. They can only fight me for a little longer.
I just want to stand here for a second and just, like, look at this. Look at how fast they are massacring all these guys. That is scary that I have minions that can just in seconds massacre everybody. Like, this doesn't even make any of the fights fair.
Well. The crown is not in this crypt. I'll search elsewhere.
It's almost like I got a flash mob behind me. I mean, you add that in with the... I mean, you gotta think, adding this with the skeletal mages, which is a temporary summon, that just makes the necromancer pretty OP. But I'm okay with that, actually, because it means that I can... well, I won't be able to power through the game, obviously, but I'll be able to just annihilate a lot of stuff and a lot of different obstacle characters than, say, the monk or the barbarian or the crusader. Like I said, I like characters that have a summoning class kind of feel to them. Let's go here. You guys enjoying this stream thus far? Well, nobody's really watching right now, but those that are watching this, like, I should say post-credit, are you enjoying this? Is this making y'all like the stream a little bit more? I'll add this one.
That foe will die.
Apparently it's already dying. For some reason I like that look. It's like a dark executioner. And I know, it just dawned on me, I'm sitting there talking about, I'm not really that big a fan of the Diablo series from what I found out thus far. And I can just hear somebody, then Steve, why are you playing the game? Because I want to. I mean, you can say that you don't particularly care for something, but still enjoy playing it. I'm just saying in general, dark medieval type fantasy like this, I don't usually care for. Like, I'm one of the few people that I didn't really care all that much about Baldur's Gate. But I still see why people enjoy it. So that's what I think is missing from the world, is a lot of people don't seem to understand that you don't necessarily have to completely like something to appreciate it. Plus, the neat part is that periodically, especially with the skull minion ability, you can just generate more guys. You are literally an unstoppable force of death, and that is awesome to me.
My power has grown.
Oh snap, y'all, I think I might actually end up being a force to be reckoned with in this game now. Dang, it's like a flash mob following me. The hand sights just look weird to me, at least. Okay, now the two-handed sights look even weirder. What? I mean, I get the Grim Reaper moniker, but really? The blade is about the same. It's just on a... Nah, I do not like that at all. There we go. This is much better, because see, it's a shorter blade, it makes sense, it's a handheld weapon. Grief, my skeletal warriors are savages, both literally and figuratively. They're just giving nobody a chance.
I think the crown is nearby.
I'll have to try to remember after I get off in the next couple of minutes, maybe check and clean this headset carefully. Now, my earpiece started to make my ear itch, and I think my ears need to be cleaned. Little waxy.
No, I will not allow you to bring that monster Leoric back to this world.
I have long waited for this knowledge.
I don't know how a blade that big can fit on an axe that small. But anyway, we now have another weapon in our arsenal.
You found the crown. Truth be told, I didn't think you'd make it back alive. Ah, it needs repair. It's good to work again. There. New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head. I need something more than making spades to occupy.
There is no higher calling than serving the balance. But I should tell you, during my travels,
Fool boy.
back at your forge,
Work needs doing. No one is
you
going.
were quite upset.
I don't want to talk about my wife. Dead.
I have retrieved the crown. There is no...
The news continues.
This is what...
I wish that Leia could live a different life, a more normal life. But alas, such is not her fate. When I pass, there is none but her to continue my work, and the future of this world hangs in the balance.
Uncle Deckard is home, rescued from the clutches of the Skeleton King. I'm so glad. But the Skeleton King, I thought he was a folktale. The idea of Mad King Leoric returning to torture this place. Hasn't Tristram suffered enough?
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna stop right here. Show you guys a tiny bit of a sample of not only Diablo 3, but also most people are doing streams on the Necromancer, and I wanted to And I also was planning on upping my female necromancer, which I have, so you guys get essentially a stream just because I was bored or couldn't find anything that was on my list to play done. See, that's kind of the good and bad part. I structured these things, but when I got around to playing them, I'm like, I don't really feel like playing them. But I have to put some kind of content on here, so I'm glad that I was like, I got my female necromancer in Diablo 3 that I kind of want to level up a little bit more. So, there you go, guys. You get like a secondary stream, and I get to take care of something that I wanted to take care of in one of my games. So with that, guys, I'm going to stop the stream right here. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one, and hopefully, by the time I stream again, which should be next Monday or so, I will probably have everything set up. Probably. We'll see.